Hey everyone, just want to bring you this update from America and talk about my time here, which has been really exciting and adventurous. So, yeah, I'm going to share some slides with you, have a little bit of family slideshow, because I know a few of you have been texting me, asking me where I am, what I'm up to, and I've been lucky enough to catch up with just a very small amount of people that are connected with our soul tribe. So, excuse the lighting, it's getting quite dark here outside, but I just want to have a pretty background for you all. So let me start by doing a screen share. So please remember to put that thumbs up and like, share, and subscribe to Mesa on Jupiter. And the girls and I love it also when you guys leave us comments too. And it really encourages us to keep going with content. And we're definitely getting up there. We're over 15,000 subscribers. So it does make a difference, especially to the algorithm. And the gorgeous Sophie has got part 2 of the tarot course, the Minor Arcana. So that is available. You have till November the 10th, so only a couple of days to use the 50% off code, which is Magic50. So please take advantage of that. I know so many of you gorgeous soul tribe enjoyed number 1, and I also want to remind you guys that I have sessions available when I get back. So in the end of November, I think, or start of December, I've got a few sessions available. So if you want to lock one in, or if you want to get a gift voucher, that's also something that you can do too. And I just want to say thank you to everyone that signed up for how to learn to see auras. I'm so excited. I can't wait to do the lives with you and the Q&As and to do a few extra little training bits when I get back too. So really super excited and beautiful feedback. And I know a few people have seen auras already. So really excited to hear more when we do the lives. So let's get into it. And let me start back. Hold on a second, guys. I'm just going to switch my thing over so I have the images in the right order, because I want to take you through sequentially. So let me just add this. Okay. Hold on a sec. Okay, there it is. So I landed in Arizona, in Phoenix, and it takes 24 hours to fly here. So a really long trip, but definitely worth it to come see the beautiful country and to experience my connection that I have here with Soul Tribe as well. And just to also connect with the energy of my grandfather, who came from the States. He was a US Marine who also is part Navajo. So it was really amazing to connect with Navajo country coming out here. And you'll see a few photos in this. And I arrived to chemtrails. My friends that are here were saying that they hadn't seen chemtrails in about 3 months. So getting off the plane, there were some lovely chemtrails to the arrival, and that continued for a couple of days. And you can see here the flowers are quite beautiful. I love seeing what nature looks like when you come to different countries, always a bit different from Australia. So I want to include this for my Aussie people, just to see how different it is here. Looked a little bit like a bottle brush or a little gumnut baby flower back home. And also, I saw my favorite number 333, which was Kachina Boulevard. So Kachina being the blue star as well, which we know we've talked about on other shows, being connected to Egypt, also known as the star Sothis. And we also know there's the blue star prophecies. So I thought that was quite interesting that it had my favorite number there with it. And also went to Monument Valley, which driving through Arizona. Sorry about the trucks in the background. But yeah, I think that's just as you cross into Utah. So beautiful place. This is the only hotel actually in the Monument Valley. I forget the name of it. I think it's The View. And yeah, I mean, it describes it just seeing this. So even coming and venturing into this area, a lot of them look like giant trees. So the story of what these actually are is it's supposedly there was an ocean at one time, and you see the different colors being layers of sand and layers of different rock that were formed that give you the different color gradients. And apparently these rocks were where like the ocean had worn away different things. But you could see four-wheel driving. So I was there with one of my best friends, and yeah, I chatted to my dad and showed him the country in the background, because in our family we have this, I don't know if you call it a craving, but we have this like love of red dirt. It's just within our blood from the Navajo nations, but also within my connection to Australia as well. So that was really such a beautiful place to adventure. You can see, even though I'm tired, you can see it's still such a magical place. So my friend and I actually went on a sunrise tour, and so you'll probably see this was the sunrise coming up. So beautiful, and where we probably both wouldn't get up early, it was definitely worth it. We had a beautiful tour guide at Monument Valley. Her name was Marjorie, and yeah, she was a beautiful local Navajo woman who took us on a driving tour, and we got to stop off and take photos at different spots, as well as like hear the story and the connection to these beautiful sacred places. So when they talk about some of the places, I like to ask questions so I can compare it to back home. What was a little bit different was what we found, I think it was at Grand Canyon. I'm trying to remember if it was Monument Valley as well. They didn't always have people settled or have what you would call sacred sites like you would back home. So back home in Australia, you have secret men's business areas and secret women's business areas, and you would have places that would be, sacred for people to come together. So it was a very balanced society from what she was saying, in terms of what men could do, women could do as well. So some of the men would weave the baskets and so forth. But yeah, there was such an emotional connection to Navajo country for me. I felt quite emotional a few times, just feeling the energy there. It was quite overwhelming in a beautiful way. Different energy if you're comparing it to Uluru. And what I mean by that is Uluru for me, I mean, this is stunning to see, but Uluru really does pack some kind of a power punch. And it's like you do hear the songs and the voice of the ancestors when you go to places like that. And this was a little bit similar, but a little bit quieter. And you still have people that are living there to this day. So it's very different in terms of the government structure like we have back in Australia, which was so nice to see people still being able to live on the land and have more their say in what they're doing. So let me just stop sharing for 1 second, because I want to bring up and put another little screen share up, because this one has sound, and it's actually a little sound file that I have where Marjorie is actually doing a little bit of drumming, sacred drumming. So her father was actually, or it might have been her grandfather, a medicine man. So let me just click on this so that you can hear it. And hopefully you're hearing me okay. I know it's a little bit quieter what we're doing today. Okay, switch this over. And I'll just make sure this is all set. So that was just a little taste that she gave us, and I will bring up the next one. Sorry guys, it takes a bit to host and navigate at the same time. Let me just get this one for you. This one will be with the rattles. Okay, you should be able to hear this one. Okay, here we go. Bringing this back. And I'll show you a view of where we're actually sitting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Marjorie was gorgeous. I do highly recommend her if you get a chance to actually take the tour down at Monument Valley. She just was so knowledgeable, such a beautiful person. And a lot of the other tour guides don't actually take you on that experience where they take the drum or they do the rattles. So we got that extra special little extra, I guess you would say. Oh, and I forgot to share with you guys. Let me just bring this up bigger. I have this beautiful pendant you guys might recognize. So the gorgeous Elena and Julie sent this to me. I'm in love with it. It's my beautiful Larima. So you're still able to order and purchase these on masonjupiter.com. So thank you, Julie and Elena. I'm absolutely in love with this and it feels amazing. And I know, Elena, you have the same barrel style. So I feel that sister connection with you too. So this was another sunrise picture that I have here with Monument Valley. There's such a spiritual connection to this place. Every few seconds, the colors coming in, you're just in awe, and it just gets more and more magical, just like Uluru. But yeah, I highly recommend to go there. You can see here, this is going up to that rock that has the hole that I just showed you with the rattle. What you also notice, if you look up, and I might have put a picture in here, when you're inside of it and you're looking up, it actually looks like a rattle. Sorry, guys, I'm screen sharing on Facebook because it's just so much easier. So you will see here, if I can click this in bigger, this is walking into it. So I wanted to give you guys that perspective of how small we are in comparison of this big, what feels like a natural cathedral. When you're looking on a certain angle inside of it, you actually see an eagle. So it's a little bit hard to see here. And I just want to give you a few perspectives. And really, I just want to make you feel like you're on the trip with me. So there's little cave type things. So similar to Uluru, those little smaller holes that you see in the rock, sometimes you'll have little birds and things nesting in there. This other cave, though, you can imagine that it might have been a good place for people to be, or even in, colder weather to maybe light a fire or survive. In Uluru, we had certain places that were almost like a kitchen. Let me see what else I've got. So this is another view of Monument Valley. And you can see here, people are still living there. So they're literally living in front of the rocks. More that hexagonal, octagonal type shape is more like traditional shape. And you'll see here in a second, there's like a few mounds, like mud huts type mounds that you'll see. A rounded one is the feminine one. So that's usually where the women would perhaps, talk or gather. And you also see the men have more of a pitch type roof. So in the older days, they would have the hole on top, but not necessarily the fire, was what Marjorie was telling us. It was super interesting. So this is another tour. So the man on the right is John, and John is like an Indiana Jones of the Grand Canyon. So he's been doing tours for about 26 or 27 years, I think, taking people right in, even doing up to 3-day hikes. And this was his friend Kafanya, who we met as well. But yeah, I highly recommend John's tours. He has also just started, let me bring this up. This is, and I just have to switch my little window. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm going to bring another one up, just so you can see more details in case you guys want to go on this tour yourself. You will find it on TripAdvisor. And my gorgeous friend John organized this. And oh my gosh, there's been like 5 Johns on my trip already. It's insane. So yeah, let me just show you this. I'll add this to the stage. And you can see here, Grand Canyon, ancient alien folklore tour with experienced guide. So I can't say too much in person, but I will say to you, you can ask questions when you're there, and you might see some things when you're there as well. But there is ancient caves that are in the actual Grand Canyon, and you do get an ET sense or feel. I wasn't able to go down into the canyon because we were on a shorter time limit, but John does remind me of Indiana Jones. And I told him that, and I didn't know this picture existed of him with the tour until after. So yeah, definitely a wealth of information, super, super fit, and just a lot of fun, like really fun people. So you can see here, here's my other friend John and Kafanya, and yeah, you can see down into the valley just how beautiful it is. And I've been here with my kids back in 2018, so a little bit of a different experience coming in doing the tour guide, but still just as majestic. Really great to ask questions, and you can see here the actual river. I think that might have been the Colorado River, and certain little mountains that John can point out have an ancient Egyptian connection as well. So we're spending time with the guys. They were able to sort of talk a little bit more about that. And you also have, yeah, lots of different stories associated with each of the different mountains. Again, I can't go into everything online because there is some pretty sacred information that is better not to share on the internet. In the center point, you'll see like a horseshoe point there as well. There's some sacred things around that area. So I thought I can point out a few things, but not so much speak about them. But there is an ET connection. And also with Monument Valley, there's an area too that's uh, connected like with the Anasazi and the ant people a little bit further out, and similar with the Grand Canyon as well. They also talk about the Anasazi and the ant people, and you guys know who have followed me for a while that I've had ant being connections since I was about 4 years old. So yeah, it was just a place that really resonated with me. So you can see these sediment layers, and they talk about the different plates coming in from the Colorado River, causing or carving out this. I've heard other theories as well that people talk about it was like mining that's taken place, perhaps even from off-worlders. Who knows? But it is an amazing energy place to go. You can see here the gorgeous guide captured this picture of me just on sunset. He's like, quick, come here. So he's a really great photographer too, and just has a great eye for detail and color. So yeah, I did also notice just driving countryside in a few different places. What I saw was I would say mounds that look like pyramids. So whether I was in Utah, Arizona, even going right near Mexico, and I know that there's pyramids in Mexico too. So that was quite magical. And you can see here, this is coming down from Flagstaff, which was quite beautiful. They have, I think it was around, I think John was telling me, the guide, might have been around 600 old volcanoes. So if you imagine like all the lava and things that have come out, and with the red rock, you do see different areas will have different kinds of red rock. Some will have more of a higher silica, like Sedona definitely has higher silica. With this, there's no sound, so don't worry if you're not hearing it. But this is coming down from Flagstaff. Smelt my first few skunks. If you're in Australia, it smells a little bit like onion weed, maybe a bit more intense. But yeah, unfortunately, you do get some roadkill along the way. This is what you're seeing if you're coming in from Grand Canyon through Flagstaff into Sedona, and the feel is amazing. You feel Bigfoot energy as well. So there are those kind of interdimensional ETs there. And this was coming into Sedona. So this is a beautiful golf course that they have there. It is a gated community, but there are some beautiful sacred viewing points, or I wouldn't say sacred, but to me, it feels sacred when you can see a connection and feel a connection to the land. We also had an amazing tour guide, which I will get to her photo. This one I had to include for my Star Wars fans. Does that not look like Jabba the Hutt? So I just kept seeing Jabba when I was looking at that, and you would then imagine the voice and things with it. So that was kind of fun. Let me find where we're up to on my little photos that I've got here for you guys. I've put so many in here. It took me a long time. I've taken way more photos than this. It took a long time to go through everything. It's also coming into Sedona. I just want to give you a view of, if you're on my road trip with my friend and I, then you would see like everything I see. And what I noticed too is how beautifully they've also integrated the colors with the desert. We don't have things like that back home. They don't always match the colors and things. So lots of crystal shops, psychic shops. If you're from Australia, the place I found good coffee is just next to Whole Foods, a little Italian Vesta Cafe, because that's the biggest challenge of this trip is to find coffee that's like that. So I don't know if you guys know, if you're not in Australia, we have some of the best coffee in the world. So yeah, you can see, you go literally through the shops and you're seeing just these amazing, breathtaking, monumental, majestic, enchanting. It's just incredible. This up. this is a photo that our tour guide Vishali, who was just gorgeous, she actually took this. Sorry if I've got some shadow coming in. It's just the time of day that I've been able to film because I've been out with Lisa and Johnny DiMartino today, which I will share some pics too. They are gorgeous, gorgeous friends of mine. But yeah, you can see here, Vishali took this and she goes, I'm just like feeling energy and just like lining it up. And she didn't even realize that this was in the photo. And we got back in the car and I'm like, oh my gosh, Vishali, look at this photo. So I definitely will be, yeah, sending that to her. That was just a beautiful moment, birds flying over. And yeah, Vishali took this as well. So there she is, the gorgeous Vishali, our lovely tour guide. Highly recommend her tours. And this is, let me just pop this down. This is her. So if you want to go on to SedonaHealingJourney.com, you read more about her. She has a book that we also got a copy of. She was so sweet and so just engaging and took us through meditation. She had so much knowledge, and she'd done a lot of Buddhism meditation practice. And yeah, she's really put the work in, and she took us to a point where we got to feel the energy and to bring in new qualities or reflect like what the vortex has. She even told us about one of the first people to come before the whole new age started, or perhaps someone who birthed the new age, their page. She actually came and felt, I think it was originally 4 vortexes. Some people say there's 5 or 6, but when you talk to the local tribes, they actually talk about it being one giant vortex. And just like Uluru, it was never a place, she was saying, that people actually resided. It was a place to come for powwows, to come for ceremonies and get-togethers and to share or to heal. So sometimes with places like this, and even, Uluru, Byron Bay, if you're not there as a healer or to be healed, you could actually go a little bit, as we say, off the deep end in Australia. So it's a pretty powerful place. After she took us to the point of where you reflect and you bring those beautiful qualities in and you see the beauty within yourself, she then took us to another point, which was, I'll just bring this back up, which was near a stupa. So you've got a Tibetan stupa there as well, with prayer wheels, which you can put your prayers out into the universe. Tibetan prayer flags there, and again, just fun to play with the sun and the lighting. And you can see there's a giant Buddha there as well. So yeah, I guess the town's very different. It was quite a small town before the New Age movement hit, and I'm sure there's people that are not happy with it and some that love it. But yeah, there's definitely an amazing natural energy there. And you can see the cactuses all around. So that was phenomenal. And I just wanted to capture, this was at Bell Rock. So Bell Rock, another energy point or vortex. And there was a flat kind of platform that looked like a stage. This is where the rocks are piled on. And so my friend and I just laid down and just like really felt into the energy. And last time I was here, we went to the airport vortex, which I would say there's probably stronger energy at the airport vortex. But you know what? Probably depends on what kind of mindset or mood you're in, or energy, or a whole array of different things. But yeah, pretty special. This is walking up to Bell Rock. I just wanted to give you a scope of the nature, especially if you're not from the States or haven't been to the desert before. Definitely different to our desert. In Australia, as you've seen in some of my other videos, we don't always have as much green. So this was just, yeah, it was stunning. So you can see Bell Rock. I was on a bit of a time limit, so I didn't have time to climb all the way up to the top, but I went into the point, like that flat area that felt a bit more vortexy. And you can see just more cactus, and people have piled rocks in certain points. And yeah, just one of the signs. So I remember what I'm telling you guys about. And then getting back to Arizona for Halloween. So I had my first real Halloween. I didn't know what to expect, but it looked like a lot of fun for the kids that were involved. We really don't do Halloween big in Australia compared to the States. And yeah, there was a dad, you might have seen it on my Instagram or Facebook. I didn't put everything on here because there was so much, but he actually was, the kids did a haunted house tour in the local neighborhood, and the dad ran out dressed with a mask, overalls with a chainsaw without the blades on, but just smoke machines, lights, and the kids are like, but loving it. So I also was here for the election. So that was an amazing experience to be here for the energy of that. And yeah, quite good news for to see that yeah, I guess the energy that you see after this is quite positive. I know that there's not everyone that will be happy with it. And there's other things that I've got to do here that we can't do back in our country. I did learn to shoot a bit too, which was amazing, and was also surprisingly a really, really good shot. I have very, very good vision. So that made my trainer proud, who's a friend as well. So that was really fun. I didn't want to share those photos though. And you can see here, just wanted to capture the landscape with the cactuses and some of the pointiness of the rocks. This was not as much of one of the pyramids, even though it looks slightly pyramid, but some definitely look like the pyramids covered in dirt. And this was just me at Bow Rock, just giving you, I didn't want to put the talking on because I've already put that on Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, I'm just showing you pretty much just around, and I thought I'll just talk you through it because it's much easier tech-wise and internet-wise. Otherwise, it sometimes slows down. Oh, this is the kids just running out with the dad, the chainsaw. I forgot I must have put this on here, just not the sound. And this was one of my first things crossing the border into Mexico. So Mexican food, so good. Trump wants to build a wall around us, which I thought, it just shows the sense of humor that people have as well. It was quite funny. And yeah, you can see here, there are some areas that are a bit more run down coming through over the border. It did have a feeling like lock the doors a little bit until you get to certain parts, as it does in other countries too, and even, suburbs in Melbourne in Australia. But yeah, you can see here, there's stop signs pretty much on every intersection that you go through, so that's a little bit to get used to. This was a gorgeous view from the hotel. It was absolutely stunning. The beach was so lovely. One of my favorite things there was actually just laying down on the beach and just feeling that warmth of the sun and just feeling my feet in the sand and even my hair in the sand, everything. It was just, yeah, really, really lovely. You can see here, this can also see here, this is the hotel at night. So really, really stunning. And this was a boat tour. So with this, you can also see it's a double decker. The music was so loud. And yeah, I was hoping to connect with dolphins. There were a couple, and this was just doing like a view around the beach as well. So yeah, my other photo must have slipped in there. So you got a sneak peek in some of the stuff I got to do. It's a lot of fun and very different to Australia. But yeah, the sun was just magical. Oh, there was an interesting feeling with Mexico. It had almost like a bit of a simulation feeling, or like the simulation wasn't fully built out there. There was just like a really weird disconnect or feeling like you're being dropped in a video game type feeling, which was so bizarre. I don't know if anyone else, like, let me know in the chat below if that's something you've experienced. Super, super strange. And this was me parasailing. So that was a new experience. My friend John organized all these tours and things, and it was just incredible. I've been so, so lucky to experience things that I've never experienced before. So much fun. And yeah, you can see they're guiding you back in. When you're up there, you're like, oh, this rope surely will hold my weight. So things looked a little bit worn, but yeah, safely back on the ground. There's dolphins. You can see little breaches in the waves here. One of the gorgeous little girls was spotting them, and I was able to drop the film to her mum's phone for her. It just, yeah, incredible. There's nothing like seeing a dolphin in the wild. It shoots my heart open, bigger than bigger than anything else. I literally just feel in such joy, like my heart's going to explode. So such a beautiful moment. It was like a dream come true to see dolphins in Mexico. I wish I could have got up close, but that was, that was still an amazing surprise. And you see here the sun going down. What you can't hear is the kind of gangster R&B sort of more Spanish inspired music in the background. It was a little bit had a bit of colorful language in it, so I thought probably better not share this on YouTube. And you can see here they have big trawlers, so they're known for their seafood and different kinds of pelicans to what we have back home. And this is my gorgeous friend, John DiMartino. You guys have seen me on Lisa and Johnny's channel, Deep Dives in the Desert, and gorgeous Emma, their daughter, as well. So, yeah, you'll also have a show coming up soon, shortly. And gorgeous Lisa, who is also one of my beautiful best friends too. So it was so beautiful to reconnect in person because I did get to visit her last year. And yeah, this was just us. Like when we first got together, they came to pick me up, which was amazing. And then we've got the four of us. So both Johns and Lisa, and we were having beautiful Italian food. I think that might be my last photo that I have to share with you guys. So basically, let me just bring this down again. And I would say the highlight has been, spending time with friends. That has definitely been amazing. And I would also say the highlight, there was a few things. Definitely the ET connection that you have in the Grand Canyon, the tribal connection with the beautiful Native Americans and the Navajo Nation for me was really quite special. And I felt my grandfather's spirit around too. So that was quite lovely. And yeah, there's a few more connections and things that I'm finding with my family and America and yeah, family history and things. So that was quite enchanting to find things out. But yeah, highly recommend for Charlie and also John with the ancient alien connection tour. And as I said, there's just so much more that I can't go into personally, but I wanted to share it with you guys in case you're going to be in the area and around. The tours that you can book that don't take up too much time. I think they were both around the 2-hour mark. But yeah, there's definitely an ancient alien ET connection, and you get a sense of really the history that we've learned in school is not the true history. So that was quite amazing. But yeah, I can't wait to update you guys. I'm also going somewhere else very shortly. So hopefully I get time to film another video there. I will have another one up next week for you for sure. And this will be sharing a bit more of the experiences, and there'll be more information shared a little bit more in depth about some of the other things as well. Maybe leave me some questions on the bottom of this chat. I would love to hear from you. And I just want to remind you guys, please share this out and put the thumbs up, hit the notification bell, and look out for the shows that we've got. There's more card picks, we've got more tarot, we've got more 5D news and updates as well. And we also have Sophie's with the and my sessions. Please book in if you want a session before Christmas, because we're going to be taking a bit of time off over Christmas too, so time is quite short. And also the Aura course, please book in before the 21st, which is where we do our first live Q&A. So I know a few of you are set and ready. Can't wait to see your questions when we do the live and to interact with you all. But one important thing that we do have only a couple of days left is Sophie's tarot course. So level 2, the minor arcana, and I know people are loving it. So use the discount code MAGIC50 to save 50% off. And I can't wait to share my updates when I go into the next place. But yeah, I'm just having the time of my life with friends. I'm super homesick at the same time, missing my family and my partner. So yeah, it's hard. That's the sacrifice, when you're traveling, but seeing the world has just been incredible. And I will see you guys very shortly. Please leave me little love messages below. I'll come back